That's how it usually does a ping or something. Anyway, hello y'all, this is the Ninja DC with another 8-bit reaction video. Joining me today is Alex.
He's here, we promise.
Okay,
Alex.
I guess Nova, you want to go first?
Uh, good midnight, people. It's Unova here speaking. How's everyone doing on this fine episode before the hiatus?
Alright, then second.
Hi, I'm the second opinion, and from a critic first and a fan second, here's a third appearance. I'm back!
Alright, Alex.
Oh, that was an awkward silence. Seems I wasn't missed.
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
I think you might be having mic troubles.
Yes. Would anyone object to take two?
Alright, muted his mic, so he's probably adjusting more file things.
Hello?
Alright, there we go.
We
Oh,
got
He
There we
lives!
you. Hey, man. We were wondering where your voice was.
yeah. Huh. I tried to
ready?
switch my mic, but it wouldn't work. Oh well.
Alright, like
Yeah,
I'll go to the
still
same,
technology.
you want to introduce yourself?
So yeah. Hello, you ponies. I'm a herd of bronies. Let's watch some horses.
I agree. He is a herd of bronies.
Yes. He literally is a walking huge amount of ponies walking amongst the ponies. I don't make good sense.
It's late at night if you can't tell.
Yeah, it is. The clock struck past midnight.
Thing is, we're normally usually night people, but we seem all tired. So I know I am.
Mhm.
Alright.
Maybe we need a hiatus.
Yeah.
This is taking it out of us.
Yes.
Alright.
These
But I guess we can begin this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Going to press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
As you've all probably noticed, it's been quite some time since the map has sent us on a mission of friendship.
Yeah, ever since Starlight
That's my little
to go
pony
back in
rider
time
first.
and
See, we
change
didn't
history.
forget.
Yes, since then. But Starlight's
Oh.
we think we've come up with a spell that will get it working again.
A spell to create another throne for Starlight.
A spell to restart the plot device that started in season 5.
Yay.
And didn't really have much of a payoff there.
Yeah.
Fluttershy and Twilight in Appaloosa. No, me and Rainbow Dash in Las Pegasus. No, Rainbow Dash and Twilight in Yak Yak.
That would be a nightmare.
Go off the table, go off the table, go off the table, go off the table!
Rarity. I hope it's some far
Final answer.
no pony is gone, but
Go off the table!
Yeah.
maybe not too far away. An adventure somewhere that has modern conveniences.
Go off the table!
This is wonderful. I can check the boutique. Perhaps there'll be some social events that we can attend. I'll have to pack extra outfits. What will I wear?
Everything!
Some ponies get excited about the silliest.
I was muted this whole time.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I was wondering if you realized that.
Yeah.
Usually, like, highlights the fact that you're muted before he.
Oh no.
I mean, it's your recording on your end, so it would still capture your voice.
No, I'm recording through Google Hangouts.
Oh, it's only recording the Hangout, so.
I recently learned this song goes on a lot longer, and the least interesting part is the part they play in the intro.
Oh. Yeah, I heard of the extended version a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
As far as finding a friendship problem, I suggest we start at the castle and begin to question the proper.
I noticed those two ponies in the background were very frozen.
We just need to go with the
Sure.
flow, and eventually, kablam! We get friendship problem right between the eyes. Well, this is a team effort.
If I can't find a friendship problem, I'll make a friendship problem.
Where's the flow saying we should go? You know,
That guy have Dr. Who's cutie mark?
take your pick.
Oh yeah, a lot of Cantaloupe ponies have them.
Wait a minute, then. Are they trying to, like,
Well, it sounds like you're
is that the
stuck.
third doctor or
Should
something?
we go towards
The
some lunch?
gray
I
hair?
know just where to go.
Open too.
Restaurant Row, the
Sorry, go ahead.
best place for fine dining in all of Equestria. Ooh, so many choices. Where should we go? This one? That one? Those ones? Any establishments that have this, the 3-hoof rating. Whose hooves? Why, Zesty Gourmand, the queen of cuisine. When it comes
So
to
they put it
food,
out
it's
on
the
a sign for
authority
everyone to
across
see?
all Equestria.
Yeah,
Imagine real
rating, get
restaurants
brag
doing
about
that.
Decor
Like, look how good we are. We have 3 diamonds.
cannot survive.
I mean, that is what a restaurant would do.
Yeah, I mean, like the sanitary grade system is like that as well.
Mm.
Then the food here must be amazing. Lead the way, partner. Oh my! Such presentation.
That's the appetizer.
Ah, yes, very nice.
Fancy food always that
No,
small?
no.
Maybe I'm not in the
Yes.
mood
Seems just, or is that just a cliche TV shows use to diss it?
for- Yeah. Maybe one more stop?
It's
Yeah,
very
the
small
cradle.
Nope.
because they want you to keep eating.
Maybe
There you
instead
go.
of trusting somebody else's hooves, I should pick the next place? Very well.
Wow, it's the same criticism, or the counter criticism, that Batman vs. Superman fans used to try to defend it. From the fact that it obviously sucked.
Tasty treat. It's very rustic. It looks like it hasn't even been rated. Thank goodness.
It doesn't mean it's bad.
It just means it's uncharted territory.
There you go.
Are we sure they're open? It smells open.
Oh, are you here for lunch?
Yes, indeedy.
I'm Saffron Masala, the chef here at the Tasty Treat, the most exotic cuisine in Canterlot. Would you like to hear about the specials?
We're actually in a bit of a hurry. Yes, please.
We have a curried oat cake
We'll take one.
and a grass sandwich that has been marinated overnight in a mustard Dijon dressing.
How can we say no to that?
And for you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Making
Thank you.
yes.
No rating.
Ugh.
You know, anybody who cares about,
What's your name?
like, one critic that
Are
much.
you chefing too?
My daughter cooks. I host.
Then why are you stacking chairs?
Without customers, I have no pony to host for. So, I stack.
Father,
Not sure if racist.
those are the restaurants around our
It is a bit with like the voice.
No pony else will be coming in.
Yeah,
Well, your attitude isn't going to bring
I mean,
anyone in.
it might depend on who they got to do the accent.
So
This is a Canadian TV show, you know.
Doing enough
Yeah.
for both of us. No pony here wants to try anything.
I mean, is
new.
that dad,
I know
like,
when to throw in the towel.
legitimately an Indian stereotype with how he's pessimistic about everything? Or...
Oh, Rarity, try this.
Oh, maybe if you would listen to my ideas for once.
Oh, yes! I did not move halfway across Equestria for my daughter that I never listened to.
Rarity, I think that friendship
Huh.
stabbed us right between the eyes.
Dad's good at passive aggressiveness.
I don't know, darling. The food is excellent, but I'm not sure there's
In
much you and
in
I
no
can do
time,
to
he'll
help,
start
though.
leaving passive aggressive notes.
Oh God.
Didn't want to come to our restaurant. She took one look at how empty it was and said it wasn't even worth eating. That's it.
Oh, wait a minute, wouldn't you want to be the critic who, like, discovered the restaurant nobody
Has led us here.
found out
This
about
is
before?
our mission. We are going to give you a 3-hoof rating and save your restaurant. I can get zesty gourmand here.
I thought ratings were always either out of like 4 or
And how do you
5.
intend to do such a thing?
Just leave it to us.
That's a very small nitpick, granted. But
In this episode, horses save a restaurant.
because a magic map told them to.
Yeah.
Welcome to Restaurant Rescue.
And say she couldn't convince
Game
Zesty
start.
Gourmand to come
Unfair
visit.
critics are
We
just
will
that
do
much of
back
a
all this
problem.
up.
You
I'm
see.
just getting a head start.
You really don't know Rarity. I've done it. See? It took all of my charm and cajoling, but I was able to convince Zesty Gourmand to come and try the food.
What is the catch?
Ah, yes. There is a bit of a challenge. The only time she can make herself
Or at least they didn't do that gag where everybody's all happy and then Rarity says, but...
What is it? Zesty rates a restaurant on cuisine, decor, and
So you know what? I think I like this dad.
She has very specific tastes. If she's coming tonight, there is quite a bit of work.
He has a
that
name,
needs
but I
get
can't
done.
seem to remember
Like
it.
what?
Mm.
Well, at least I'm starting to remember Saffron.
Modifications to the menu.
And the
Let's meet
critic's
person
name
here.
is Zesty.
Cosmopolitan.
Father, after Rarity went to all of this trouble for us, can't we at least try?
Why don't I stay behind with Coriander to get the restaurant ready for Zesty's arrival?
No, I like being
You and
pessimistic
Saffron
about
can try and
everything.
drum up some business.
I don't feel...
Coming right up.
I have my one-time chance that I've been working for all this time. Forget it, it's gonna go wrong.
We will get those hooks by making this place feel just like all of the other restaurants on Restaurant Row.
Oh, I hope my father doesn't drive Rarity crazy.
It'll be fine. Rarity's gonna make sure that the Tasty Treat is the most unique and beautiful restaurant in Canterlot. Not like all those stuffy places on Restaurant Row.
And that's when your mentalities differ.
Would that be hinting at something?
Here's what I know. If you want to succeed, you must follow the trends. That's the key. If you want to show that you've got what it takes, you must be what they want you to be.
Here's what I know. Your food is
So anyone who actually thinks like that just like be a total carbon copy?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, it seems like just kind of played up like somebody that would be. I mean, like, take hints on, yeah, the obvious mistakes not to make, sure, but just like, yeah, be a complete carbon copy and hope that someone else's success will carry you to fame, unfortunately. And plus, it's Rarity, who just had the lesson in Canterlot Boutique about not running the same thing into the ground.
Oh, Piggy Pinky is back.
Brenda.
Ah, go out.
Oh, double Alex.
Double the fun.
Sorry, Wi-Fi acted up. I lost connect.
So,
Hello?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
The Wi-Fi acted up, so I lost connection.
Said it. Well, at least they're not just making Pinkie Pie the like the complete moral superiority here. Like, she's also not quite perfect. She also doesn't have the perfect solution here. Yeah, she's too far one extreme.
Wow, thanks a lot, Minuet.
We haven't found any ponies.
Wait, she goes to donut shops to stuff her face. She cares about a place being hoity-toity enough.
How many hooves does it have? No hooves yet, but hopefully soon.
No, you say she's reviewing it tonight.
Stupid hooves.
Oh, stupid hooves.
Oh, the tasty treat. Do you think
Again, though, I don't know anyone who cares that much about what one critic says.
To be adventurous.
These are Cantalatians, remember?
All these hoity-toity places taste like some pony cooked up nothing
So-
with a side of nothing.
Well, please, come try the tasty treat. I think it's going to be exactly what you're looking for. This is going to be exactly what Zesty is looking for.
Father, we're back.
Rarity, what did you do?
Welcome to the tasty treat. You can eat here if you want, or not. Who cares?
I know. Isn't it perfect? Zesty is sure to love it. We're trying to make this the
Oh,
most
God.
beautiful restaurant in Canterlot. Not make it exactly like every other restaurant.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Let's help our friends by getting them 3 hooves. That will only happen if this is like every other restaurant.
Because if there's one thing everybody loves, it's generic.
Not that anything with that!
This is what we must
I sympathize with you, Pinky.
here.
This isn't what I wanted. I wanted Canterlot to like us for us. Rarity, how could you ruin the restaurant? Oh, we've helped save the restaurant. Now, where are the other guests? How many other ponies are coming? 2.
So good.
Just 2? I thought you said
Beatbox Rarity makes a return.
no matter what.
Yep.
You said you would make the restaurant better, so I guess we both didn't know what we were talking about. Everybody,
Those cheekbones.
I'm
What
getting
the
ahead of
hell?
myself here, but do you think this episode likes critics?
think it matters, but
I don't think so.
try your best to
I wonder, you know?
Well, we'll both try the special this evening. Maybe with a little kick to it, eh? Yeah, we've been craving some food with actual taste.
The Canadians.
Minneapolis. Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Ooh.
I've given it at least a
Hey,
little
that's
bit of
totally
flavor.
unsanitary.
No. That's not what Zesty wants. What kind of food expert doesn't want flavor? That's insane! I'm taking this out there. No! Zesty will hate it. You are going to ruin this for them. No! I'm trying to fix it after you ruined it.
I wonder why Rarity didn't hold it with her magic.
Because then we wouldn't have
We are done here.
that.
Zesty,
So aren't you laughing yet?
allow me to explain.
When it comes to fashion, you are adequate. But take
I
some
know she
advice from a
didn't.
friend.
Ah,
Indians out of restaurants, substandard food, laughable service, and I would think even
Well,
you could
after
recognize
soup in the
that
face, okay,
is trying
substandard service might be warranted.
desperately failing.
well,
Recommending
but you
a
also
restaurant
mentioned
to
about
avoid
keep
such
your
as
opinions
this.
away
Do
from
serious
restaurants.
damage to your
Oh yeah, I mean,
self-esteem.
I'm getting the sense that we're not supposed to like this character, you know?
Good?
Yeah.
Pony can throw ingredients together and create an obvious taste that uncultured ponies like those two can register.
Hey.
But it takes a true culinary
You
art
insult
to
us
create
for nothing.
the barest hint of a sensation. That's what I bring to Canterlot. That's art.
Oh, gee, that sounds like they're really giving a lot of weight to the other side of the story here. She likes bland food. How are they ever going to get around that argument?
The worst has happened. No use crying over spilled food now.
Here, this always cheered me up when I was younger.
My spicy flat noodle soup.
One of the rare moments Papa is happy.
This is truly delightful.
wanted to do, Father. Make food for the ponies of Canterlot, like the food we made together when I was younger.
It has been so long since we cooked together. Remember how you used to hide the ingredients you did not like?
Mm.
No, what? Who cares?
Dad is like stealing the show.
The food here, it's exquisite. That's
Rarity,
and you don't
welcome to the good side.
the window to prove it. That's double true. You just need ponies in here to give it a chance. Ponies that will tell every pony else in Canterlot that the tasty treat is the best food in the city. That's true times 3.
But without Zesty's approval, no pony will even try our food.
Oh, yes, they will. Pinky, we are the perfect team for this. We were just doing the wrong jobs. I will go out and bring the crowd. You stay here and make sure this place is every bit as unique and rustic as it was the moment we walked in.
And what about us?
You two, you are going to cook. Make whatever you want and make a lot of it. I intend to bring a crowd. Would the owner of one of the premier boutiques in Canterlot put us
Well, now it seems like they're trying to go middle road a little bit, like somebody else's opinion can matter.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more that you can't. It's more about general population's opinion, not the high-end critics.
So, well,
It's almost time. Is every pony ready for the grand re-opening?
Before we open, my father and I just wanted
yeah,
to
no, I
say
mean though that they
thank
had
you for
Rarity
all
and
the help.
Pinky switch
Both were
jobs
so
so they could
stressed about
bring
the restaurant
the
succeeding
other
that we
quality,
forgot
the
what it
opposite
was we loved
qualities
about
to the
it in
table on those
first place.
jobs.
Cooking is
Mhm.
something we
In
used to love
Rarity's
to do
case,
together.
that
No
being
matter what happens next,
like
thank you.
reputation mean counts for something or whatever.
Guys!
Well, and she knows Canterlot.
Yeah.
Now come on!
Or
Ah,
like, or like how to get your name out there in the first place. I mean, incidentally, that is kind of an argument for critics because I mean nobody has time to try literally everything and give
it's
it.
kind of, it's
Go
kind
ahead.
of. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, it was kind of interesting that
What
the
is every pony doing here? This place has
God
no
almighty.
rules. It is not in keeping with the level of cuisine that I have set for Canterlot. No pony told you this place was acceptable.
Rarity and her friend said it was good? They told us.
They told you? And who are they to tell you anything? Rarity can tell you what hats to wear with which skirts. Her friend can tell you how to maintain a tragic look for a frizzy mane. They can't tell you what food you can eat.
No, we can't. And neither can you. No pony has the right to tell these ponies what to think. Zesty, you have very specific and very strange. Yes, and very strange. And that's your right. But just because you like your food a certain way, there is no reason to tell these ponies that they need to do the same.
Rarity is right.
That's right. It's not like it's your job or something.
I own the smoked oak on Restaurant Row. I hate the food we make. From now on, it's all smoked, basted, and grilled.
We have been freed from Zesty forcing us, literally forcing us to think a certain way.
The way she made it.
she's not a critic. She's a full-on just drone.
Zesty, are you sure?
She's a bigot.
Ignore it.
She is the Armand White of food critics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe that's taking it too far. I apologize, Zesty. But okay, not even Anton Ego walked into a restaurant in the middle of everyone eating and said, "Everybody stop, I did not say you could eat here."
Yes.
He's got the word ego in his name. Like, alrighty then.
Mm-hmm.
Rarity and Pinky have done well.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the father I think was Lee Tucker. Lee Tucker.
Yeah, Lee
Yeah.
Tokar. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. I was hearing Stephen Magnet. I was hearing Stephen Magnet in his voice actually.
He was the show stealer.
Yeah. And also, they somehow managed to worm in like a subplot of like them of like the two cooks like being dissatisfied with cooking upon moving to Canterlot, and it actually seemed to be like a bit of like a subtle telling of like the daughter was the one who thought up of like moving like half across Equestria to like go to Canterlot to base the restaurant in, which kind of dissatisfied the father like upon arrival, with like hardly any customers, probably giving him like that grimace.
Yeah. But he loves her, so he's going with it anyway.
Yep.
What a good grumpy dad.
That's interesting. That's interesting. It doesn't show any of the voice credits for like Oh wait. Okay, it shows Twilight and Spike. But it doesn't show anything for like all the other main 6 members in Starlight.
Well, it shows Pinkie Pie, but not Fluttershy, which
Did Fluttershy say anything?
no. It reminds me of a weird trend I've noticed. Is like I swear I think they not adding dialogue to Fluttershy for some episodes. So they don't want to do double bill Andrew Libman
Yeah.
because like on the support roles he has a lot fewer lines in the past few seasons.
I didn't even. Well, you mean Fluttershy specifically, or just Andrea Libman? Okay, well, yeah, Fluttershy. Well, I don't know. Do you think they're like afraid that the just general cuteness gag has run dry? Or shtick? Not really a gag.
Yeah, the shyness thing is kind of old. That's why they had Flutterburger, where she was peeved. Showed a different side of her that we haven't seen a lot of. So it's a good change in character.
Yeah. And oh, by the way, if you're wondering about something, I accidentally had the case of siestas, in which I was asleep.
Oh no.
Yes, it is true. I've fallen victim to siestas. I was ashamed of it.
Siesta. I don't know.
Let me see. Anyway, that was a sort of off-tangent discussion. But let me see what I was going to say about the fifth episode. So, what are your all general thoughts?
To be honest, I'm gonna have to watch it again to get a clear opinion about it, and really catch one on this first viewing.
Was that our fault for talking too much?
I don't know. It's just
Then his connection cut out.
only for a few seconds. But
No, I think no. Honestly, like this episode does need multiple viewings in order to ascertain everything, because it's like it's actually kind of densely with content actually, because it's like this was like my second viewing of the episode, and I just noticed like that little subplot they wormed their way in of like saffron and coriander, and it's like. I didn't know they put in like a little subplot about like them being grudging about like the things, and it's like before like they reopened for like the grand reopening, it was like it doesn't matter if we get like the approval of Cantor or not, because we finally found our happiness again, and it's like aww. I wish I caught that the first time I saw it, but it's like, I'm glad I was able to catch that in the second viewing with you guys.
Yeah, but I mean, suffice to say, it's a straw man argument. Just like, it's kind of like it kind of reminds me of Canterlot Boutique in that regard. Just sort of preaching to the choir, sort of like they don't like the flaws in the more in the what's the word, if I could summarize everything what they both have in common in a nutshell. It's like, well, okay, I guess they don't like the flaws in trends and in word of mouth and in accepting the word of that's passed along to you by some official sounding thing. So they instead of trying to maybe like go into give us a full perspective on the argument of where it goes wrong, it just sort of strawmans the whole thing, gives us this really exaggerated perspective on in Canterlot Boutique's case on marketing, and then in this case on criticism. I mean, you could tie it back to a few different things, but word of mouth, what have you. But I mean, so yeah, it's like, I mean, for the characters you like and the characters that they dream up for this episode, kind of the colorful personalities, it's like I'm willing to follow it. But I mean, it's just sort of another passable episode to me, because I mean, it didn't really bring anything to the table that I thought was really interesting to think about, or a really good point. It just sort of preached at me through this caricature at me, so it could prove her wrong. Wow, that looked very hard to do. I was really invested there. Great job.
Well, honestly, looking into this episode more, it seemed like Pinkie Pie was more in the right in this episode. And the episode was trying to convert Rarity over to the moral side of things, understanding about it. But as the map sent to both of them, it kind of showed Pinkie couldn't do much on her own, and upon getting Rarity to come sync to sync with what they really need to do to showcase this thing, it showed a case of miscommunication in which Pinkie's blind faith in Rarity was shattered immediately as soon as she saw a carbon copy of the restaurants that she find horrendous with the Who system. And when she said those stupid Who's, and it's that was basically my Fluttershy peeve moment. I'm like, Pinkie, you being frustrated like this? I want more of this now, please. I think this was easily even though this clearly didn't focus on Pinkie, this is easily one of Pinkie Pie's best outings as a character in an episode.
I'd be for seeing her get frustrated.
Well, it's kind of looking at her in a different mindset, just what you guys said about Fluttershy from Flutter Brother. This was Pinkie's chance to be.
I don't know, because I mean, we've seen Pinkie Pie frustrated before for a few different, Party of One. We saw her frustrated because of her own insecurities, and I mean, here it was almost comically frustrated. Oh, come on!
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't mean it in the. I don't mean in the grand scheme of things. It's the same frustrated that we've seen her before. As you said before, comically frustrated. She was more self-contained in that way, while still being very uplifting. It seemed like she was starting to get a jury at the sight of more and more three Who's, and it's I'm losing my happiness over food.
Yeah, I mean, it did seem like it tried to take something of a middle road there, having Rarity, what she knows about trends and marketing and whatnot. That that's still helpful too, but no, it was definitely leaning more towards Pinkie, trying to. It was definitely on her side with how. Oh no! In the end, if you're not doing it exactly the way you love it, then it's not even worth it. And don't listen to what the critic says, because they have no right to quote unquote tell you what to think. I mean, although here's where I think the hole in the just complete the taking it to that extreme goes is, okay, in the end, the Pinky and Rarity thinking like that everybody should be more like the Tasty Treat, that's just their opinion too. I mean, it tries to play up. I mean, it makes sure to show all the food the critic likes as those really small bits and have everybody say it's bland so they can make sure that you are on Pinky and Rarity's side. But I mean, you can say that the food the critic likes is whatever you want it to be. I mean, at the core, you're still making the argument that you should ignore her opinion, and tell everyone that yours is right.
Also, yeah.
But and so it brings up an earlier point as like, yeah, I have to say Rarity is definitely in the wrong, at least for most of this episode, which I don't mind. I actually enjoyed that a lot because if you look back to season 1 and 2, Rarity is like very flawed, is a very, very flawed character, but that's what makes her such a good character. It's like, she is the element of like generosity, yes, but she is very narcissistic and like stuck up, like very Cantalatian, and like things. That's what makes her so interesting because like she has to get over that, like her own instincts, this of like for the greater good sort of thing, and like you get to see that again here, which I find that refreshing because season 3, 4, and 5 gave us basically bland Rarity where she's just perfect generosity. Like the only time she really breaks it is like in her first
Simple Ways.
No, not Simple Way. Was the first Manhattan episode.
Rarity Takes Manhattan is where she broke it?
No.
Where she broke away from the bland, bland, safe Rarity, and that's mostly only in the second, like, the last little mini act, which lasts like 5 minutes.
Yeah, well, I mean, that episode played up like perfect. It tried to make her like aggressively perfect Rarity, so it could telegraph her fall from that, and then just like dramatically take her back to it. Like, no, she's really perfect Rarity, and that's even more true at the end because, look at all that heartbreak she overcame, or I don't know. Rarity Takes Manhattan is about as subtle as a sledgehammer to me, but
I would agree with you on that. Seriously, generosity.
Yeah, when I say the problem, with Rarity, like that is sort of the big problem. Is that I feel the writers are just trying to make up for what they thought were a lot of hate for Rarity in seasons 1 and 2 by hitting us over the head that, yeah, she's the element of generosity. She's the element of generosity. She's the element. Do you forget she's the element of generosity?
Yeah. And ironically, I mean, people really like rallied around her in her episode. I mean, I thought that like the Suited for Success, Sweet and Delete. Hey, I do remember the titles, but no, I mean, I thought they were fine, but I mean, a lot of people seem to just like really, really rally behind those. So I mean, I'm wondering like why that was even necessary.
Mm-hmm. It just, I guess, perceive like. I think they're just trying to make up for a lack of Rarity in season 3. That's how it started, at least in season 4 and 5. And then 6, where Rarity seems to be the most popular main 6 used. But like this season, at least, this season seems to have actually gone back to the older Rarity, where yes, she is the element of generosity, but she is a flawed character, and that makes her a good character.
Well, that's the appeal a lot of them have. I mean, they all have flaws in their own ways, although I will admit, like, they maybe went wrong with Applejack by trying to apply the formula in the same way they did to everyone else. But that aside, I mean, yeah, I will say episode, like I brought up Simple Ways before. I don't think the seasons completely forgot Rarity's flaws, like they realized, I think, in fact, how funny they could make her. But yeah, in the episodes though where they tried to make it like straight up Rarity, like really Rarity stories with like a dramatic punch, a serious point, that's where, yeah, they definitely seem to forget that. Just like, you have to focus on how she's this absolutely wonderful soul at heart.
Well, that also kind of gives also like another point of like a criticism following that train of thought from like Rarity. Season 6, really driving the sledgehammer in with that whole Spike commenting on Starlight, huh?
Yeah, well, even the episodes seem to want you to think that was just like getting excessive.
Like, oh god, it's just. I mean,
But
I like it, but you're really starting to annoy me with that comment, with that bit.
Mm.
But actually, speaking of season 6, my overall opinion of this episode is best summarized as it reminds me of a lot of the biggest problem I find of season 6, where the episodes excluding Applejack's Day Off, all the episodes are pretty much structured pretty well, but there's a lot of them are just sort of bland. They're like good, but they're just sort of meh episodes because they don't really push forward many plots with all the main 6.
In this episode, horses save a restaurant, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think I even bring like I'm still part of my recording my own review for this and whatnot. Is the point I bring up is like the one sort of special thing about this episode is having a Pinkie Pie and Rarity episode, but we already had that spoiled earlier in the season.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I guess. Well, going off your, I mean, I can kind of see what you mean. Like, you go back to what's a good random winter wrap up? I guess. Like, I mean, it's okay. The ponies, they have to clean up winter, and it's like, okay, they do that, and Twilight trying to fit in has a lot of adorable, hilarious mini adventures that are very characteristic of her, and she discovers where she fits in, and inadvertently she learns that you can't always impress your friends at every turn, but that doesn't mean you don't have anything to offer in your element. And then, okay, you go over to episodes like this, it's more like, okay, yeah, a restaurant's in trouble because of an evil critic. They tell off the evil critic you don't need to listen to her, and it's saved.
Hmm.
No, I think you say you hate the critic, but actually, the one plus I will say with the critic is I'm actually glad they didn't go the Ratatouille route and just have like her actually try the food and be like, oh, I have an epiphany. I've completely messed up my life, sort of thing. I'm sort of glad they actually kept her being like a horrible critic.
She's Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, because like we can't magically turn like all the critics good, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ratatouille didn't like critics either, granted, but it may have. It did actually go into the subject a little bit, come up with, I mean, a pretty intelligent point on something to consider. I mean, again, it was still basically anti-critic, but saying that, like, okay, critics, you have to keep in mind that, you have a very lofty position where, I mean, you are talking down to someone who's putting themselves on the line a little bit, but there is a time where a critic also has to put themselves on the line, and that's when they have realized something that might not be very popular to say, that like they've maybe seen something that has a lot of potential, it can do a lot of good, but not everyone might be ready to think so. I mean, yeah, there is also a time where critics have to disagree with the norm, whereas this episode's standpoint seemed to be that critics are the norm until you just reject them. Like there's only one who has any say in anything, and yeah, everybody holds it to a T until they are publicly disgraced, and it's like, eh.
Well, it was kind of funny when you guys said like season 6 you guys felt like was really bland when it came to structure, because then I was like thinking, are you saying season 6 is nothing but 3 hooves?
Yeah, dude,
It actually was so like what?
Season 6 need to spice up our lives a little more.
And actually was. It's not one thing I intended when I thought of that first, but like I did actually think of that comparison to the food, how it's just so bland and very subtle. Like it's like structured well, but like sort of flavor. It sort of is the problem with this season, I find, because I thought not just me, because we've had these discussions before. Like something just feels a little off about this season, and we just can't figure out what.
Yeah, Yeah, well, I'm
I
sure
mean-
everybody has their own take, and that's what's important about multiple critics. Nobody's going to think the exact same thing, but I mean, you can. I mean, that's part of the fun. You try to follow the points, and you see which ones you agree with primarily.
Yeah. It
But,
kind of makes me wonder for the rest of season 6 because yeah. Yeah, apparently leaks happened.
Oh no.
Well, leaks
And
of episode titles, but
yeah, just we pretty much know the episode titles, which I'm sort of so, and I'm like, some of them seem good, some of them seem bad. Like, again, I am sort of like really sort of like scared that Fluttershy will be ripped again of another, being like the fewest episodes. Like, she'll get like one individual episode, then like maybe 2 shared episode like last season, which doesn't develop her character too much.
aww.
well, I mean, I will say, like, first half of season 6 had me kind of excited. Just like it seemed like it was laying down a lot of groundwork for, like Newbie Dash laid down some stuff for Rainbow Dash. On Your Marks laid down some stuff for Cutie Mark Crusaders. Gauntlet of Fire for Spike and the Dragons. I mean, seemed like it was there. Just like these last couple episodes, I mean, it was more like, standard stories.
Yeah, I think
I think like a heartwarming tale kind of sets it best. It's kind of like a good rendition of like a Christmas Carol, just that it doesn't have really anything that kind of makes it stand out.
Maybe, yeah. Well,
But,
I probably oversimplified things with my winter wrap-up comparison, but I mean, and truth be told, it's probably not like a difference you can pinpoint with just one quick and easy sentence. But I mean, it doesn't seem like it's as excited to maybe work with these characters and see how like their uniqueness, their person applies to this specific. I mean, it seems like it knows what it wants to do ahead of time, and like, okay, we segue from A to B to C, and it's done, and then maybe throw in some quirky moments along the way.
Well, it's kind of like it's kind of like for Rarity, like from season 5 to like now, like she's basically have like her dreams realized, and it's kind of like they don't really know like how to like sort of like challenge her character, like except like with these momentary like mishaps that are going on, like with her setup for like more stuff for like Manhattan and such. But it's like for like the character themselves, it's like they're not trying to like pinpoint anything new. They just saying like it just feels like, oh, she's a completed character, so now she's only having like external conflicts really, which if the show really wants to like try to like keep on like making episodes, they need to like try to reinvent themselves by going into the characters now, trying to see like trying to make a comparison to like their own lives as people in careers. Like, okay, we're currently kind of like in the same situation that Rarity is. What sort of stories can we bring her from ourselves into the show that can translate well?
But
I mean, it's true. Nobody stops developing. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was saying, I was actually just going to comment on what you said. I think you were describing, it sort of sounds like what you mean is previous seasons, well, seasons 1 through 3 were more character driven, while seasons 4 through 6 seem to be more plot driven.
I kind of thought season 4 had more, at least, well, if not more than better character plots than season 3.
Yeah, like season 3 and season 4, I kind of consider them like they're both a part of like an enchilada, really.
Well, season 3 is more just like flawed. It's like just in general flawed episode, but I still consider it very similar to season like. It's sort of like a transitionary season from like the seasons 1 and 2's like style to like season 4 and 5, where I think season 1 2 was like the Brony, like a good way to say it, the Brony movement was just being born in those seasons, and it sort of seems like they're more focused on us in season 4 and 5.
Well, I mean, I don't know, season 4, like, well, actually the first 11 or so episodes of season 4, I was just starting to get worried there. But I mean, I don't know, it just, the longer it went, the more it seemed like it legitimately was trying to sort of bring back a lot of the progression we were like. What season 3? I mean, as far as how Twilight develops, she passes a couple of tests because she's special, because she's special, because she's special, and then she gets to be an Alicorn. Whereas I don't know. Season 4 was the one. Well, for Twilight, if nobody else. I mean, I don't know what you guys would say about the others, but yeah. But I mean, yeah. Season like, what do we get? We get Twilight scared about growing up, going in different directions. We get her like going to a few events, like trying out the role of princess, seeing how it fits. And then by the last episode, we have her saying like, "Okay, I do want to embrace it now." In fact, I'm getting a little worried on how much I'm shoved to the side, and then having to step up, earn the role, be worthy of it in a situation where it was legitimately not easy. I mean, I don't know. I felt like season 4 did a pretty good job on her, and I'd argue the other characters if we had time for that. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't get. I felt like it. I mean, to me, it was kind of the season that corrected season 3, which might sound snobbish, but I'll stop now.
All right, but I guess we should be summarizing our thoughts for this episode. Going on an hour. Alex, what are your final thoughts in this episode?
Like, I don't know. I still can't get a clear opinion from it. I've got to watch it again. So, for now, I might have caught some things that I didn't like, but then again, that could change. So, yeah, it was okay for me. I like the diversity though. They're getting diverse with culture.
Diverse or stereotypical? You make the call.
Yep.
Actually, no, I will side with the nuke. Sorry, good.
Oh, sorry. We're in the PC era, fellas. You can continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. Now we're in the anti-PC era. Like, we're sick of hearing about that crap. You're just an SJW.
Oh God. Social justice is cancer.
It hurts us, yet it feels validated to exist because of our hurt.
Well,
Yeah,
probably should stay away from that rabbit hole. But
anyway,
we already dug in, and now we're just nearly about to crush that hornet's nest.
But I guess in second, what are your final closing thoughts in this episode?
This episode was honestly a bit of like an actually interesting one. Like there was a little subplot, but it didn't really feel like a subplot to me. Like as you guys mentioned before, like about season 6 and about like this is like the Pinky and Rarity save a restaurant. Like they only just sent a few lines here. And if this episode was kind of like set up in the old seasons, like it could have had like a bit more characterization for like the characters, but since we wanted more to be like in the direction of the plot to lead to like the brand spanking moral, like that was like clearly like shoved to the side so that we could focus more on like Rarity and Pinkie Pie bickering amongst each other, like showing like their differing mentalities on the whole issue, and how Pinkie can't really attract a Cantaloupe audience since she's too zany and wacky for the elites. Overall, it's I believe it's a great episode, but it's only great in the plot sense. It's not great when it comes to the characters, definitely. Except for as mentioned before, like except for Pinkie Pie. Like I really did like her character, and Rarity was also good as like the negative opinion on the matter.
well, in spite of my snark, I did like the new ponies, and they're trying to keep the restaurant afloat. I thought they were good together. I thought the dad was a lot of fun. I did like Rarity and Pinkie Pie together, and I did like some of how they were utilized. It'd almost be the opposite of You Never Hear, actually. Just like that plot. I don't even, like, what can I think of off the top of my head even like you go main attraction, like that was how you don't necessarily need this manager who's thinking all about how to sell you, and okay, that was one-sided too, granted, but it at least really just went full-blown passion as far as how much it meant to Rara to do this her own way, to like what at least the perks of it are. Whereas, this one, not only did it have, it's kind of a similar straw man argument, invent someone not as evil as Sven Gallop, because that's really hard to do, but someone who's at least in the ballpark, and in the end, it didn't really. It didn't really seem like it defeated the other side of the story, because it didn't really acknowledge there was one. It just painted it as like, yeah, apparently some pony who grew up tasting fine cuisine managed to convince everybody to listen to her, and then forced everybody to make this terrible bland food that nobody could possibly explain why she would like. So I don't know, like if you can't do a good impression of what the other side of the story is, then you're not going to be able to do a good job fighting it, because you don't understand what you're fighting. So
you have no idea who you're fighting for.
Yeah. So like the last one, passably entertaining stuff. Maybe not as many good points. Maybe a little more entertainment, and in the end, just like another passable episode from season 6.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I felt this episode summarizes a lot of the sort of problems you have with season 6, where it's like they're structurally good episodes for the most part, but like they're just not really pushing too much into character development, at least of the main 6. Spike being an odd exception, which is pleasantly surprising.
Yes, it's the year of the Spike.
Is it wrong? I thought he was. Sorry, go ahead.
No. You go on.
Well, you told us. Was it wrong? I thought he was better in the crystalling than in Gauntlet of Fire.
That is a very strange sentence he said there.
But he is actually good in both, though.
Yeah, he is good in both.
Because
Gauntlet of Fire, he was more like, my thought on that, like he was more the enabler the bringer of different perspective than he actually was very developed himself.
Yeah, I could definitely see that point.
But I guess that brings our discussion of this episode to a conclusion. I guess we'll join up whenever. I'm not really sure if we're having a hiatus yet or not, just because I swear we should be getting a 13th episode before, because there's like a missing episode that was moved.
Yeah,
it's like,
you would think.
I wonder if there's like a mystery episode that appeared like after skipping a week or something like that. Either way, we'll probably have some sort of discussion in between, possibly talking about the title leak and talk about season 6 thus far and how we think it can get better and what we think of the future episode ideas from these leaked titles. Until then, or something else, see you all next week or next recording.
Ciao.
Oh, God. Goodbye. See you at the camp.
Ciao, no pun intended.